Stream elements. Student pilot is now live. Final call for flight MKA 1299 boarding now. Streaming Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Learn to Fly Live 737 MAX 8 Singapore Bangkok MSFS 2024 full flight.
Good evening, captains and fellow flight enthusiasts. Tonight, we're flying to Bangkok. Just one question, everyone. What's happened in Bangkok stays in Bangkok. So, whatever you do when you get off the plane today is completely up to yourselves. Let's have some fun. Tonight, we'll be going through 737 MAX 8 setup from cold and dark, setting up the flight, and everything you need properly done, following procedures, and landing in Bangkok. So tonight we'll be flying at roughly, I'm thinking about 38,000 feet, and it is going to be a 2-hour flight. So as you can see on the screen now, we have our flight plan already set up. All right, but now we'll enter it into our into SimBrief, get everything in there so we can get our takeoff and landing information. So let's go from there. So we'll get rid of that. All right, so as you can see now, we've got our flight plan all up and ready to go. So we're taking off from Shanghai today and heading off to a lovely Bangkok National Airport. So the airport itself is called Bangkok International, so VTBD. We'll be taking off obviously from, like I said, Shanghai, going from to center, leaving via the VMR 6A departure. So that is your SID. Flying these particular waypoints and ending off at VOR at this stage, and then from there heading to VPK, VOR, following all these nav points, and then finally arriving at Bangkok via the star. So this is your star, so arrival, and we'll be arriving with the SABA 1B via Gutso, and then following that thing and landing via ILS, which I'll show you how to set up and everything. So let's get our aircraft started. So first thing we'll do is, what I like to do is to make sure we have enough fuel and everything like that. We enter all this information quickly into a make a flight in SimBrief, which is all free. So let's get that underway. So I'll just load up SimBrief here. Just get SimBrief set up for you guys. Let's have to select it. Usually is selected. Terribly sorry. There we go. Alright, now it's up and running. Alright, so just swap screens. There we go. So today, SimBrief is quite simple. So this is where you enter in any type of flight you want to do, any type of aircraft you want to do, and it gives you how much fuel you'll need, alternative airports just in case you can't land at the one you're going to, information on performance, your takeoff performance and landing performances, gives you your weather, live weather. Everything is in this program. So, and it's completely free. So you just have to go to simbrief.com, just do a simple account and go from there. So it's all free, so it's easy to go, and it makes it a bit more realistic as well. So, all right, so quite simply, so what we want to do now is a new flight. So click new flight, and then we just fill out the information. So airport we're going from is Shanghai, which is WSSS. Oh, that's your airliner, sorry. So my airliner will be STD, Student Pilot MTK. The flight number today is 3011, which is what's stated on the career flight, which I'm doing at the moment. All right, so now airport is Triple S. We're heading to Bangkok, which is, the airport is VTBD. So VTBD. Alternate, we'll leave that as auto, so it'll give you an alternate one later. Then we'll go down here and we want to select our aircraft, which would be the Boeing 737 8 MAX. So just coming down here, should be coming up very soon. Did we pass it already? No, there it is right there. Enter that in. All right, so most of you will keep it on default. I have gone through and just done my own particular aircraft to match up with my VIN numbers on my aircraft, as well as the different weights and stuff like that, so we get a bit more accurate. You can do that. I'll show you how to do that on another video. It's just pretty much open airframe editor and pretty much putting in the weights from what it says on in your EFB, which is your electronic flight bag, um, which is this iPad thing that you have. All right, so I'll collect my aircraft. All this is done here. Come down. Obviously, I use kilograms usually in fuel and stuff like that. Most people might use pounds, anything that you prefer. So IFR, so we're going instrument flight rating. So you can either do VFR, which is visual flight rules, instrument flight rules. Then you can even go instrument flight rules to VFR, like some particular flights that you do inside, especially with the smaller aircraft, go from instrument from an airport with bad weather to a airport with some decent weather. So you can go back to VFR. So you can enter this all in this way. But for today, we're going instrument flight rules. It is a scheduled flight. You go scheduled, general aviation, merely is a training, whatever it is. Obviously, it's a scheduled flight because we're running for my airline. Alternates, we just really want one alternate. We're not that we're going to land at any other airport anyway, but for free flight, you can do that. Pretend that, if it's too dark, too hard to land at a particular airport um, because of weather. All right, so today's flight is at 11:15 a.m. according to obviously the flight that's on Flight Sim. So we'll quickly just get up our so converter, so 12:55 at this stage right now, but we want 11:15. Actually, we'll leave the time as is. I don't want to waste too much time getting all that stuff. So, all right, so we'll go to fuel train now. Obviously, contingency, we'll leave to auto. I want reserve fuel of 90 minutes at all times. So just in case I've got time to, circle and stuff like that. So pretty much this is all we can do at this stage. So once this is done, this is done. So this here, so check our flight plan off what we're saying. So we're going VMR 6A. So VMR 6A, that's correct. Via the VMR, that is correct. All right, this will probably differ. You can, if you want to, enter the same particular flight plan into this system that it's showing here and enter it back into the flight sim. But if you don't, you just roughly get the rough idea. SABA 1B. So we'll change this one to the different approach, which is SABA 1. Alright, we'll go 38,380, enter. So 38,000 is now entered. Now we come back here. So we're flying at 38,000 feet today. Obviously, the route's about 798 nautical miles. Winds roughly at 137 degrees at 5 knots. Wind competent means it's probably going to be a +5, so we're probably going to be getting a headwind. So 5 degrees, 5 knots, sorry, coming towards us. Not sure what the deviation is. All right, release number. We're using the air tactic cycle, the light one. The operational flight plan layout is in this mode. Always try and use this mode. It gives you the most information. Units is in kg, and nav log on, and all right, our load sheets, roughly this at this stage. So obviously this is going to change. This is the information we want here, is pretty much how much fuel we want to use. If we come down to briefing, come down to the fuel. So obviously takeoff fuel and block fuel. So the amount of fuel we need today for the 2-hour flight is 9,507 kilograms of fuel. All right, so now we'll go back. All right, so all this has been entered in, so we don't need this anymore. This can be turned off, and now we're in slept. We've slept the mission, all has been done. So how are we all tonight? Feel free to put into the chat section how you guys are going and girls are going today. Ooh, we got a different paint job. What's going on? Actually, no, that's not my plane. Someone's parked in front of my plane again. Got me excited then. I thought I had a better paint job, but no, definitely not. Anyway, manage aircraft. Obviously, we did check it last time before I did stuff it up. So we'll just give it a good washing at this stage. All right, now we've got 12,000 fuel in there. We only need roughly about 9,000. What did it say again? 9,500. So we'll pump that up a bit. Oop. And she's going to go really slow or really quick today. That's fine. So 9,507 we need. Let's go 10. Okay, so we've taken fuel out, so we'll sell that for 7,000. So that's all done. Fuel is ready to go. Alright, so we will go back in later and change the weights once we get everyone on board. Alright, so let's go flying. One thing, this is why we got our aircraft kind of parked in our aircraft. I've got this thing on the Xbox that puts realistic aircraft in, so when you're going to different airports and stuff like that, you can actually see other and don't know how the passengers are getting from the terminal to the thing, but you put up with stuff, don't you? But as you can see, you got different aircraft parked with, Asian Air and Air Asia and stuff like that. So that's pretty much why they're sort of parked in my parking spot. You can turn it off, but then, sort of only puts a generic brand aircraft like Airbus over there. Whereas, I like to see, a little bit real, but you do have errors sometimes, like 2 aircrafts in one spot. They should actually probably fix that, if you're in the spot or another aircraft's in the spot, sort of get rid of it. But, oh well, you only can dream. Alright, so we'll take a look at our aircraft. I have checked it before, but what you usually do is you go, the pilot, the first thing he does, goes around all bits of the aircraft, checks the wheels, goes through, checks all the wings, and makes sure everything is perfectly okay. We can walk up the stairs. The answer is no. Alright, so we'll enter in our aircraft. Alright, so welcome to the cockpit.
Good morning, everyone. So it's not big today? Love this city.
Set up in a second. Just got 1, 2.
It's Howard from your flight staff. We're ready to begin boarding. Wait for your signal.
Alrighty.
At Student Pilot MK. What's your experience level with MSFS? Beginner, airplane, intermediate, airplane, airplane, advanced, airplane, airplane, airplane. I'll adjust explanations during the flight based on chat.
So feel free to please, tell me how much experience you guys have got flying. I'm happy here to learn as well. Anything you can teach me would be good. I'm not 100%. I'm getting there, but still not 100% with this particular aircraft. I'm just, sort of learning how to fly this properly, especially with the throttles, not the throttles and stuff, but with my new joystick and everything. But I'm definitely getting there. Landings are 10 times better than what they used to be. So, all right, so let's get these all these underway. So first thing is put ground power on. Let's put the navigation systems on so that can warm up while we do everything else. Then we'll put standby and cabin power on. Right, emergency lights are armed and ready to go. Let's get out our checklist. Always get out your checklists. Always one thing you will forget. So we have gone outside, checked everything there. That's all done. So master switch is on. The standby power here, all that is switched on. Standby power is on up there. Your main power would be these 2 connectors here. Those are both on. So master switches are on, standby power is on, and DC power up there, both of those are on. External power we have turned on, IRS mode, which are those switches up the top there to turn on our GPS. They are on. Cabin utilities and passenger power is on, which is, where did it go? Just those 2 switches there, so they're all on. Alright, emergency lights have been armed, which is what I did right here. So see exit lights, collision lights are on, so that's it there. Collision lights are off at the stage. Lighting, honestly, window heat we don't need on, it's hot outside. If you always want to check that too, it'll say it on the screen right here. The TAT, basically temperature outside, is at 30 degrees Celsius. I'm not exactly sure what the TAT stands for. It's pretty much your temperature outside. So IRS acquisition will have to set up. So we come in here, click that. Alright, now we want to reference airport, which is, we are at where's W gone? There it is, WSSS. We'll get rid of this so we can see. To there. So we have set that up, so all of those are connected, so all those are the same. That's our GPS, exactly our location. And what I've entered in, which will differ slightly, is obviously the airport and its location versus where exactly at the airport we are. So they're pretty much close together, which means we're pretty much on the right. So both of those are set up. So that is set up. Probe heating at this stage, like I said, we're at 30 degrees Celsius, so we do not need probe heating as yet. We turn that on right before we take off. Anti-ice we don't need. Engine hydraulic pumps are both on. This one here and this one here. So they're on. Electronic ones are off. They're both off, which is there. Fuel pumps, they're all off at this stage. Alright, so all the fuel pumps here are off. We'll turn them on shortly. Trim air, isolation valve, and reconstitution airflow is pretty much both the recons are on, which has to be on auto at this stage on. Left and right pack are off, and isolation is on open mode at this stage. All lead valves are closed, which pumps air from your APU or your engines into the system so they can create the pressure in the cabin. So, and also obviously supply air to the passengers and stuff like that. So, and to us too, if we need, obviously if we need air. So trim air is on, isolation's there, they're all done, leads off. Fuel quantity is loaded, so we're going to now set the cruise altitude, which tells the computer how much pressure to push into the cabin. So today it was 38,000 feet. Might change depending on ATC when we get clearance, but at this stage it's 38,000. So that is set. Landing altitude, we don't quite know what the elevation, so you click here, so you come down to your airport that you're arriving at, click on the information button, and it gives you everything you need here. So elevation of the airport is at 4 feet. Okay, so at this stage we can leave that at 0, or you can put it to 50, but pretty much 0, it's closer to 0, so we'll leave it at 0. So, alright, so that is set. Fasten seatbelts, which are these switches here, so no smoking, and fasten seatbelts are both on. You can put it to auto. I prefer going to on. It makes that lovely bing sound, so it gets me more excited. So go. Alright, now we have to set up the FMC. FMC stands for Flight Management Computer. So let's get the old thing, we'll zoom in. Alrighty. So while we're starting this up, we can start getting our passengers aboard now.
Singapore ground, Boeing Sierra Delta, Tango Tree 011. Could you please get the passengers
And
on
yet
board?
again, it's had an error. We left the parking stand before the end of the boarding. Did I? No, I don't think I did. Oh my god. I really don't understand that. Hopefully the mission's still there so I can redo it, otherwise we'll be picking another destination and everything we set up is just useless. Oh dear. I really don't understand that. All we were doing is getting our mission's gone, so we have to set up everything again, like usual. I really don't understand that at all. Clicked was the mission to get the passengers on board and do that automatically. And it says, interesting, very interesting. I really need to fix this game. Dear me. I'll tell you what, let's do it. Spot it one more time, otherwise we will let's do it free flight. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely, positively ridiculous. All I did was oh, anyway. So she was a 2-hour flight, and now pretty much most of the missions have disappeared. Well, we said we're going to Bangkok today. We're going to go to Bangkok and do it in free flight instead. We'll go from there. Yeah, as you guys are more than aware, you know, career mode does stuff up a bit. You guys are just joined and wondering what's going on. We just tried to set up the aircraft and get the passengers aboard, and pretty much came up saying that I left the parking spot without doing everything first, which I didn't do. I was just trying to get the passengers aboard, but so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way and go free flight if I can find the aircraft. Where is she? B is before C. 737 Max. So, yeah, definitely passenger. Let's go a different livery this time, eh? shall we become? Air Mexico. Where are we? We're in Asia at this stage. Alaskan, Korea, Malaysia. Bangkok, Malaysia? No, not really, no. No, S7, United, Mexico. Alright, well, let's just keep it at Qantas, shall we? Let's just keep it at Qantas. I am as Australian, so I love my Qantas. No, we'll just go Qantas. Otherwise, we'll be here forever. Alright, save and back up. It's all done. At least now I can show you. So we'll go from Shanghai. Airport. Okay. Don't quite know where international is, but we'll just pick. Go from here, I'm assuming. That'll do. Set its departure. We are going to, what was it, Bangkok. No, it doesn't say. Alright, so we'll go back to our other screen, our flight sim screen. Is it on here? So VTBD. Bangkok International. There we go. Reliving it small. Gate. I want to go gates, not really super large. Alrighty, out of AFB. So we'll just find a route. We'll get a, so obviously we're going, keep to the same as we did before. So we'll go 38,000. So 380. Find a route. Go through flight brief, sim brief. Pick a route from here. Enter it back in. Alright, so that's done. Alright, so we are going from 20, when are we taking off? So 2C, so at this stage the wind will be updated to live, so we'll go from 20 center. Wants us to land on 21 right. Swap this into right. Some new. Right, so that's all done in there. Now we will wants us to come on SHN3A. SHN3A via ALEMI. So we'll change that procedure there. That's all done. Switch to IFR, because we'll be doing IFR, and then we'll find route. So we need to change this as well. So we're going to go VMR9B as our VMB. Yep, B. VMR9B. Yep, that's the one there. By direct, change that procedure, and then we'll just find route. Hopefully it'll be roughly the same as what. Yep, looks like it's going to be, yeah, basically the same. So all good there. All right, so that's done. So our alternator can generate flight again. Fuel and everything that we had before should be exactly the same, but we'll just double check that too. So that's all updated now. Looks like it's going to be a night flight today, so okay. So we need a bit more block fuel, 9.8, so 9,800. We had 9,500, so just need a couple extra 100 kilos of fuel. And our alternate airport. Alternate will be VTBU, and then you can enter that in here. So VTBU. It's done. Just go down. Alright, so there's our flight plan. We'll send that to ATC and avionics. And why is it VFR pattern? There's no VFR pattern in here. Oh, there we go. It does have the VFR. No, we don't want that. We want to go ILS 21 right Zulu. That's for that. Alright, done. Change procedure. Now I'll just double check to make sure it looks okay. Landing. Yep, looks correct. So we're going to come around here, come into land, and then obviously if we miss approaches, we'll be that there. So all good. So that's all back to normal. Alright, so we've set up the flight plan. That's all good. So we can exit out of there. Got our right aircraft. We're ready to start the flight. Terribly sorry, guys and ladies. It should actually have been. I have no idea what went wrong. Sometimes if you do it the right way, it doesn't register. Then sometimes if you do it the quick way, so you do get it registered, it just completely stuffs up. So all good though. Good to see they have airport lighting. That's okay. I get to see if we can figure out where our lights are in the aircraft. Alright, so nighttime mission tonight. Get into our aircraft. Everything is turned off, so we get to start from the beginning. Alright. Power is on. Power is on. Alright, so lighting. You want to be able to see in your cockpit. So obviously you've got panel, which makes the panels light up. Circuit breakers, which is obviously, you know, all your circuit breakers have got them lit up. Just turn those on, turn that on halfway. As you can see, all the circuit panels got. But we won't need those at this stage. We don't want to make it too bright in here, so we'll leave those down. We'll leave one a little bit. Alright, so while this, we'll turn these on to no. On. Obviously your dome light, you can have bright, just keep it on dim. Whoa, even that's bright in here. Isn't that bright? Alright, come down here. So turn your lights on down here. So you've got your floodlights and then your panel lights which are on already, so it's all good. Alrighty, so let's get the rest of this aircraft set up while we are waiting. So, what was the first thing we have to do? Obviously. Alright, so both hydraulic pumps are on, electronic pumps are on, the right left packs are off, reconstitution airs both on auto, that is on open at this stage, all of them are off. Need to turn passenger and cabin lights on, standby power is on, which is up here, both main drive power is being connected. Ground power is on, anti-collision lights are off, all the fuel lights are off at this stage. We do have to set this up to, what was it that we said, 38,000. So that's done, and obviously it is under 50, so we'll leave it at 0. Alright, so our nav is on. Everything else we have checked so far. We can turn these on at this stage. That is all done. So now we come down here and click on, this gives you all your information on what the time, you know, when the active, what the new system is. So we're running on February at this stage, February 19th, March 2026. So it's February 19th to March 18th, 2026. So we're running on the new software. New software should be coming out very soon this month. So if you download, that'll usually comes automatically. So all that looks correct. So we go to position, and then airport, which is WSSS, and reference airport. Done, correct. So we take a look at the next page. Obviously all those have kicked in, so those are correct. Everything's done for that. Alright, so your airport's done. Both look pretty much similar. A little bit off here and there because we are at a different part of the airport compared to where they measure it from. Alright, so let's get our checklist out. So always forget something. Always go through your checklist. So must switch on. That is done. That is done. IRS mode has done. Cabin lights are both on. Emergency power. Did I do that? No, I did. See? There you go. Emergency lights are on. Anti-collision is lights are off. Don't need that. Temperature outside. Let's see it. I'm in the wrong position. There we go. 15 degrees. 15 degrees outside. It really is not that cold. So that's done. Probe heating we put on later. Anti-ice we don't need. Engine hydraulic pumps we have checked. They're both on. The electrics are off. Fuel is off. Trim air is done. Isomode valve is open. Those are done. That is done. Fuel quantity is loaded. Actually, we've probably got a bit more fuel than what we would need. Actually, no, we've got 10.3. We needed 9.8, so that's not too bad. That is both done. Alright, fasten seatbelt lights on. Set up the FMC while we are waiting. We can our clearance.
Singapore clearance delivery.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 IFR to Bangkok. Ready to copy.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango 3011 is cleared to Bangkok Airport by the Victor Mike Romeo 9 Bravo departure, runway 20 center. Climb via SID, maintain 7,000, expect flight level tree 8010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 120 decimal tree, squawk 4755.
So we're into 475 down here. So 4755. We accept it.
Clear to Bangkok via the Victor Mike Romeo 9 Bravo departure. Runway 20 center. Climb via SID, maintain 7,000, expect flight level tree 8010 minutes.
So we're going to go up to 7,000
Departure
first.
frequency is 120 decimal tree. Squawk 4755. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Read back is correct. Contact ground on 122.55. Ready to taxi. Good day.
Alright, so that's all done there. So we will, while that is playing, we will listen to the ATIS, so Automatic Terminal Information Service. Gives us all our information that we need. So that's set up. Where is it? 121025, that is correct. So we turn on, there's all your different radios here. So we want to turn on, we don't want to broadcast on it, but that's broadcast. If you click on that, we'll be broadcasting on it. So we'll leave that at 1, we just want to hear 2. So we'll click that and turn the volume up.
Singapore Airport Information Yankee 13000. Wind calm. Visibility 900. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15. Dew point 1 tree. QNH 101 tree. ILS runway 20 center. ILS runway 20 right and visual runway 20 left in use. Landing and departing runway 20 center. Runway 20 right and runway 20 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise.
Alright, so we've got our information. So obviously we need the QHN for this airport, which is 1013, and then you're looking at going, oh, it's 29 point, what is that? That means this is in inches of mercury, obviously American, and that's in the, not the metric, we're in the metric system, which is where we are now. That's in the imperial system, so obviously American, whoever else uses imperial. So we change it from IN to HBA, and then change it, see, 1013, which is exactly what we need, 1013. So we are done there. Alright, now we can tune in ground. It told us to tune in 21255, so we're tuning ground here. Go to ground services. We need to request passenger boarding.
Singapore ground. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Could you please get the passengers on board?
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. The jetway is going to be connected.
Need baggage service, and then obviously catering as well.
Singapore ground. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Could you please send the baggage?
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Baggage is on the way.
And we'll get catering.
Singapore ground. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Could you please send a catering truck?
Alright, and that's all we need.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. The catering truck is on the
Alright,
road.
so where are we up to? We've got everyone on board now, so that's all thing. Now we have to set up the FMC. Are the passengers coming on board? No. have a little squizzy. And the lights are off. I swear I turned them on. Turned it on. APU on at this stage, get some more power in here, see if the lights come on this line. Alright, so we're setting up the FMC at this stage. I want to come in here, light things. Stage, fill up the aircraft. So we'll go back to our FMC. Oh, sorry, back to flight sim brief. See how many passengers it gave us, saying we're doing the good old-fashioned way. Passengers, we do about 160 on today. One more. Oh, we've got 161. Alright, so that's all done. Cargo. We have the cargo, the payload of 16,000. Oh no, it's cargo. Payload. We'll come down to the briefing preview. Cargo. Baggage and cargo is 4,000. We'll do about that. We're currently 70,000 tons. Payload. There you got passengers coming now. There we go. I usually fly in the other mode, so I usually captains automatically. So, oh, we've got passengers coming on board. Our I forgot to turn the fuel on, so that won't be working. I'll turn the fuel on for that. It's working now. Turn on the power for the APU. And we'll turn on modes. Technically, there should be light in here now. Still no light. I don't understand. Is there no light in the cabin? Interesting. But anyway, whatever. Oh, go back here. Both of these are on, so technically they should freaking turn on. all good. So pretty much all the power, everything's been loaded up. We'll just double check our weights now. Modify mass and ballast at the moment, so pretty much everything's in there. Our gravity is that at the moment, obviously. Our payload is 14,000. It says payload of 16.6. Takeoff weight. Takeoff weight is 70,400. So 71,000 there. About 1,000 off. Zero fuel weight of 60.55. That should be 61. So, oh, close enough. Close enough for what we're doing, mate. Alright, so center of gravity is 23. We'll remember that. Alright, back to checklists. Alright, turn that off now. Come back down, and we'll get our route and everything done. Alright, so off to route we go. So we do have STD 30. You can enter that in here of your flight number, but it's already come up, so that is all done. We will check now. So bring this back up again, bring up our weights. Enter in all the information into here. So zero fuel weight will be 60.1. Enter it in there. Done. Reserve fuel. So we need 9.5. So we've got about not much reserve. So 10.3. So that. Roughly reserve is about 4. Index we chose of 5. We'll just double check that again. All this information is easy to same group here. Sorry, it's 40. 540. Put it in there, that's done. Cruise at this stage, let's say 37,000. We go to, what did it say on 38,000, so 380. Cruise wind, we did have an average, so average wind will be 160 at 2. So you go 160 /202, and we'll put that into there. Okay, so we'll accept that. Why? Oh, that's fine. Sometimes it works, it depends on your speed. Alright, so trans altitude we can check later. That's usually about 10,000. Roughly, that's definitely Queensland. We will put 11,000. Check that up later. That's basically right. So then we go to N1 limit. Alright, this is where if you go to SimBrief here, you can come down, see up here, once you've entered all your flight information in, you can actually come up to here to takeoff performance. And all the information's already in here. Everything, how much? 71,000. So we are actually, what's our weight? So we can change that actually, because it's not exactly right. So we'll change it to what it says here. So take weight is 0. So 70,406. Bang, done. Obviously, flap setting, you can leave that at optimum. It'll tell you what particular flap setting. We'll check our temperature. Temperature is 15 degrees. let's populate the weather because it's pretty much, it's not exactly correct because it is 15 degrees outside. So we'll just change this. 15. This one is in not inches but in hectopascals, and that's at 0 than that. It is dry outside and the wind is coming. So we can go back to this one here, go into flight plan this time. What the hell is going on here? Everything was entered before. What is going on? Oh boy. I have no idea what's going on with this sim today. I really don't. VTBD. Oh, I don't understand. Oh boy. Okay, so arrival procedure. Which arrival will we be doing again? I think we're doing down here somewhere. I think it's the that one there. So I have to go back out, go check it again. Sheen 3A. There's no Sheen 3A here at all. What's going on? Landing at 3 left, landing at 21 left. Which way is runway? 21 right we're landing at. There we go, Sheen 3A. Like that. Route. So we're going by the route. Okay. Oh, no idea what's going on with this thing, but anyway. Send that to avionics from ATT just in case it's stopped it up again. Alrighty. So we've done all that. Now, what were we checking? We're checking weather, that's right. Alright, so go in here. So select the airport, come up to weather, and it gives you oh, we're at Shanghai? Yeah, we're at Shanghai. Got 3 runways, all good. Actually, no, we have to check Shanghai because we're taking off home. So we are checking the wrong runway. We come up to Shanghai, information on that one. Then it brings that up, and then we're up here. So 3:50 at 9 is the weather. Take a look here. And well, it's got the wind right, it just hasn't got the temperature right. It says the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, but yet our TAT is saying 15 degrees Celsius. We'll leave it what it says, because it is exactly what it is. So, 1011 is the thing now, so we'll change that. Anyway, so we're back here. So we've entered all the information in. So 20C, blah, blah, blah. It says it's 27 on the actual, our information. And then we'll go calculate. And this will give us all the information that we need to actually take off. Just checking it is takeoff performance. And our calculation output. So flaps will have 5 degrees Celsius. Thrust, it says we can go to TOT1 and select temp is 48, and it gives us our V1, our VR, rotate speed, and V2, best speed if one engine fails on takeoff. So we'll need to try and keep 154 to keep from crashing, obviously. So that's all done there. So that's our information there, and that's what we enter into our flight computer now. So the select temperature it says is 46, so enter 46 and select it there. See, even that says 15, but it says 27. Oh, look. And obviously we can go TO1, takeoff, so we don't quite use, we're only going to use 85% of the full power instead of using all, 100%, so it saves on engine. Alright, so that's all done, we've executed that, we go to takeoff, flaps will be at 5 degrees, so put 5, push that, can actually go CG, just quickly look again, CG, so CG was 23, here, so our trim would be 5, which is just after 5, nearly 6 degrees, that's trimming the wheel to about roughly there for takeoff. Takeoff data, we can go takeoff data request, and obviously, what do you know, it doesn't. Probably works on PC, but obviously it doesn't work on the Xbox, but that's fine. And then you can get runway speed and stuff like that, so obviously runway speed is 350 at 9, so 350 at 9, 09, enter it from there. It is dry. Everything else is correct there, so we can go back a page now, and this is where we enter our V1, so it's at 146 for our V1. VR will be 147. And V2 is 154. There, and we are done. I like push next, you don't have to, it doesn't say to, but what was. Alright, so all that is done. So takeoff performance is done, our performance is done, which is all that information of 0 fuel weight, cost index, so on and so forth. All is done. Approach, that's for landing. Takeoff is, this is your approach, sorry. Takeoff is the next button up. Obviously, your takeoff speeds, all that type of thing, center of gravity, all that. We can now set this up to 6 degrees. Put it out there. So that's all set up, ready to go. Alright, so everything's done there, all good. So yeah, performance, position, obviously where you are, ident, all that particular page there. And now we'll just check our our flight plan. So first things first, I like to transfer the engines onto here, so because I use this screen mainly. I'll transfer all the engines on here, and you can get rid of this. Obviously, once you check, like the hydraulics and stuff ain't on at the moment, so it won't work too well, but we'll bring that up later. So we'll just turn off systems, and it brings up the straight. Now, check your flight plan. So you got it on map now, VOR, test your VOR, approach mode, which is good for, good for landing and later on, but we want to go to flight plan. So PLN. And now the step button will come up, and then we can step through each particular flight plan, or each particular waypoint. If it's running smoothly, so we can actually give ourselves some thing. There is the next one, next one, next one, next one. So at this particular point, we've got a break. So obviously that particular waypoint there is our next for our approach. which you can check. Almo, which is what we're on now, Almo, yep, and then ALEMI, and then ALMMI. So what you can actually do, because we want to go to this next waypoint, and get rid of, zoom in here a bit better, please. We can get rid of this this here, because we obviously want to go from here to here. If you click on that once, which will bring out the name here, and then you click on the empty spot. Done. And then you go execute. And now it gets rid of that, and you don't have any brakes. Alright, so we'll keep checking now. And then we obviously, this is our approach. Come in. Our approach, come down, down, down. And to our landing. Aroka B1. Oh, we have an inter-outer approach, so come here. Approach will go ILS 21R Zulu via Aroka. Change that. We'll have to enter that in now because obviously that's our airport there. We want the approach from there now. So what we do to enter the approach into the system is click on this twice. So first one's departures, second one will bring up this screen. Obviously we don't want to arrive at that airport, we're going to this airport. So we click on the second one for arrive, ARR. And we're going to go, what did we choose? 21 right, Zulu ILS. So 21 right, ILS Zulu, and we'll click that button next to it. The transition, which transition we're coming on, obviously we chose Aroka, so we click Aroka. Check Aroka, yep, all done. Execute. And there, as you can see, zoom back in a bit more. There. Alright, so then we'll be basically coming in like this, coming into land. If we do have to come to mist, come out here, it's our mist approach, follow these waypoints, and we'll be holding at this particular waypoint here, and then obviously we'll be instructed to come into yet again around this way and coming in for another landing. Alright, so alternate arrival airports. Alright, so that's all done, we're all set up. I'll just quickly put in the arrival airport, the alternate, which was the VTBD. I don't understand why that disappeared, but anyway, so VTBU. Done. That's done. Send that to 8 beats only. Send that to both. Anyway, alright, so that's done. So we've set up all the flight plan. Flight plan looks good. Now we've changed that back to map mode. Obviously this is our departure procedure. Alright, so back to our plan again, checklists. Alright, we're coming down. So we've set that up now. The barrow is 11, so we'll change that down to this outer switch here. Changes the value inside here. So barrow is set, left fuel pump is on the aft. We have already turned this on because we wanted to check if the bloody cabin lights came on, but obviously not. And we're up to pre-flight. Obviously now, checking flight directives, put both flight directives on. Auto throttle is off at this stage. The IAS, so our speed that we decided to go was 146, I think it was. Takeoff performance. No, sorry, 154 on V2. So we plus 15 to that, so 5 onto 154 is 159, 169. So we change that to 169. So that has been done. Done. So that's pretty much the speed that will be taking off. Automatic speed hold at the initial to keep us not going too fast, just in case we do have to turn around and land. We will reset the fuel flow right there after reset. Minimums are set to radio, that's all done. Gear down, speed brakes are down, speed brakes are there, throttles are closed, engine levers are both on cut-off, which are these ones down here. So you turn your engines on, parking brake is set, parking brake is just here. Yaw dampener now, we go up the top here, and we turn that on. We are done, we're up to engine start. So we've got our clearance now. We've got our clearance, ready for pushback. Luggage, everything's done, so it's clear out of here, back to clearance. And we'll be requesting taxi IFR shortly once we get pushback clearance.
Singapore ground, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. I'm done with boarding.
Interesting. I don't understand why. Lights on up back here. Oh. Doing Austin Powers. Don't know why that freaking door isn't closed yet either. Oh, so they just leave the door open, do they? Oh, that's smart, isn't it? Now the door's closed. Very good. Alrighty. Very interesting. Alright, so now we are set up and ready to go. So obviously we'll be flying into 7,000 feet to start with. We have done this. Done. Why is takeoff speed deleted yet again? Seriously. Alright, 146. Back. 7. And 154. Done. Yeah. Done. Alrighty, we are ready to, that's all been done now. That's been done, request pushback.
Singapore ground, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011, requesting pushback.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Pushback request accepted.
Start getting engines start ready now. Alright, so hydraulic pump 1, wrong one. A on, turn all our pumps on. Collision light on. On, oh, not on, that one on.
Singapore ground, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011, requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Guess like he doesn't want us to go that way, fair enough. Wasn't going to turn us. All good. So engine 1 is correct. We can switch on now. It's up to 25%. So switch on number 2. Right engine is turned on. Left engine is spooling up now at 14%. Fuel can come in. lights have come on. Generator on. APU off. We'll turn on our blower, that can come off, and the APU can be turned off. Alright, fasten seatbelt lights are on. We can switch this on now. Now both of those are on. Switch the left and right packs to auto. This one up to auto. And that is all complete. Now we turn on our left pilot probe. Coming up, or airflow and pressure coming on. That is all done. It's off now. Press taxi.
Singapore ground, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 with Yankee, ready to taxi, IFR.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Taxi to and hold short of runway 20 center using taxiway. Uniform 1 Whiskey Alpha, November, Charlie Tree Tango 1. Contact tower on 118.6 when ready.
Taxiing, hold short runway 20 center using taxiway. Uniform 1 Whiskey Alpha, November, Charlie Tree Tango 1. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011.
Switch on our transponder, which is on ground mode at the moment, so it's there. That's all set up. Flaps are set to 5 set. Lights are on. Can turn our logo light on. Our lights on too, so we So I'll quickly just bring up here. So engine start, we'll turn that on, that's all done. Collision lights are on, ignition lights are on. That's all off, that's all done. We have done all this. Yep, generators are on, that's on. Probe heating, auto done, and APU power on. Dusted. Alright, before taxi, flaps have been set, taxi lights are on, runway turning lights are done, and auto throttles are we are done, and we're up to before takeoff, but we'll do that once we reach. Alright, we are done. Break off. WA at this stage, that's the U1, which we obviously are on now, or BY, we want U1, going to WA, U1 is there. Looking for NC3, which is next. Brakes are working. Join the stream, welcome aboard. We're finally on our way to Bangkok. even after the sim crashed a few times and pretty much deleting stuff on me all the time, but that's alright. If you're ever wondering too how fast you're going taxiing, see here it says GS, that's your ground speed. So we're actually at 19, so we can probably slow down a bit, but we'll slow down slowly. There's a lovely different aircraft out there. They're all generic. We've got one. They're all pretty much generic at this stage. It's alright. 12 knots, give it a bit more power. Taxiing these big aircrafts too, you always got to give yourself that bit of extra room. So always let the nose sort of go past where you're going and sort of always keep it to the outside of the center line. And then you can always make sure that your your middle wheels will always sort of stay in the center. So if we look at this one here, so I won't just push the nose on it because your back wheels will cut short. So I will let it go past a bit and then slowly sort of bring the nose around, and that sort of keeps you back. Where the hell are we going? Let's follow the yellow brick road. No idea where we're going, but I'll trust the computer, which is a bad thing I think sometimes. But it says we're going NC31 or T1. We're on NC3, so yeah, looks like we're going the right way. Fair enough. So as you can see here, we actually got some of our other aircraft. UPS. Oh, UPS is here. Malaysia, Singapore Airways. Actually, that's the airport. That's the run. That's what we should have picked. Singapore instead of Qantas. Oh well. Well, we're going 22 knots now, so we'll take the engines out. Yeah, if you have any questions while we're flying, feel free. Teach you a lot along the way as we go, especially while we're cruising. Got pretty much 2 hours of or nothing really. So what do you guys usually do when you got to wait that time? Especially for the long haul flights, to sort of set the aircraft up, let it fly on autopilot, and then go do some housework basically. I've tried going to sleep once, especially for an 8-hour flight. Oh, we're right here now. Alright, so we'll set the brakes, get out our happy for takeoff. Alright, so right and left engines do continuous. So click that on 1 and 1. Oh, that's a bit too much, 1 and 1. Put that back at the center. We set our auto brakes to RTO, which is I can't think of the R now. It does take off, so reject. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. So we'll go to reject takeoff. And just in case we do have to our engine fails or anything, and we need to stop down. Obviously, we can only stop once we've hit our. We can't stop. Anything before our V1 speed, we can stop and come to a stop. Anything after that, even if we lose one engine, we will have to take off and then come back around. Hit strobe to steady. Strobe steady. Let's see what that says. bottom steady. The top one is strobe and steady. Right, okay, cool. Alright, so that is done. Landing lights on. Turn off. Landing lights are on. The TCAS we will turn on now. No, it's already turned on, but we'll turn to that RT, CAS, ATC split to TARA at the bottom. So they're both done. Heading bug, which will be 2 something degrees. Roughly about 202. So that is done. Your arm, VNAV and LNAV done. Right. We are ready for takeoff. Get rid of this pre-flight one now, that's all completed. And we'll go to takeoff. I already know what takeoff pretty much. I don't hit clock usually, but I go from thrusters obviously spool up to 40%. The brakes on, then hit make sure they're stabilised. Hit the toga button, reach V1, VR, and then once we're in the air, gear up and gears up, and make sure we have 3 up the lights which are green. So then we'll go to flying. Very good. I have no idea who's following this. Obviously, we have another bug. Ooh, we've got some weird ghosts on this flight. Weird ghosts. But anyway, all good. Alright, so we'll turn the lights off in here now. Get ready for takeoff. Don't need the panel lights will leave on. Other lights will be turned on. Circuit break make it be turned off. Make sure the lights that are in here are on. Put this light on. Build that one. We want those on. Definitely want those on. That's not it. Background light. We get it? Did we get it? No, didn't get it. That's not the light. Ah, must be the plug. There we go. There we go. So we'll turn that. No idea what that light is, but that one. Interesting. Oh, that's still on. Interesting. And where's our pilot? Our pilot, there's no pilot with us today. Alright. We're ready to go. Yeah, clearance now for takeoff.
Singapore Tower, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 at runway 20 center ready for departure. IFR to Bangkok.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011, QNH 101 tree. Clear for takeoff, runway 20 center.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 20 center. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011.
40%. Stable. Hit Toga button. Go. Below, nearly at 100 knots. Rotate.
Flight slowly. Flight slowly.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 01. One contact Singapore departure on 120 decimal tree. Good day.
Decimal tree. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Singapore departure, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 is at 1,000 climbing 7,000.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Singapore departure, QNH 101 tree. Radar contact, continue to a Big Sioux.
Flaps are all up. Full takeoff is done. Pilot engaged, flaps are at 0, auto brakes. Off. Now we can put both switches, engines, do both off. The light will stay on. Oh, we don't need that on. Lights will come off. Those are still on, and logo light will still be on. There. Done. Change that at 11,000. And we'll get ready for cruise.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Climb and maintain flight level tree 80.
We're heading up to grade 0 now.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 80. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011.
altitude 10,000 above, we'll turn off our landing lights. Strange, we have people flying in front of us.
Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011, contact Singapore Center on 12 tree, decimal 7. Good day. 12 tree, decimal 7. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Singapore Center, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 is at 9,500 climbing flight level tree 80. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011, Singapore Center, QNH 101 tree, radar contact, continue to south.
Above 11,000 now to transition, so we click once and then we push the button. Now we're at standard. feet at this stage and climb to 38,000. Stream, everybody. We are currently just taken off from Shanghai and we're heading to Bangkok. So I hope you guys all enjoy lovely Bangkok. Like I said before, what happens in Bangkok stays in Bangkok, everyone. But we're currently flying to Bangkok. We're just flying over Shanghai now on our departure.
Sierra Delta Tango Tree 0.
Showing if you can see where it is. Shanghai is just down there. So we are just being told to swap over, so we'll just swap over.
126.1. Boeing Sierra
Change to 126.1. So to change, this is your radios here. Obviously whatever the C is on is what we're communicating on and transmitting on. You can listen to both. Radio 2 is set up over here, but you can change from Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3. But usually have Radio 1 here, Radio 2 over this side. You can always listen to, so you just have to switch that on here, click it once and then turn the volume up. So that means the volume's all the way up. Alright, so we have to change to 126.1. So this is our standby, so we change it, the big one changes to big numbers. So we change it to 126 and we change this to 1. Little one does the little numbers. Change it to 1, 126.1, 126.1, correct. And then we transfer that with this button here to the active position. Now, we can contact the next one. Let's say you change your radio.
Kuala Lumpur Center, Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011 is passing 17,400 climbing flight level tree 80. Boeing Sierra Delta Tango Tree 011. Kuala Lumpur
How are we all
Center,
tonight? Hope you're
QNH
enjoying
101 tree.
the
Radar
flight so
contact.
far.
Continue to
Currently at night time, which is quite pretty here. As you can see, we do have ghosts. So this is a ghost flight, so we have to be careful. Now, this was supposed to be in career mode. For some reason, I automatically, put the people into the aircraft, and all of a sudden failed me. So obviously they haven't fixed much of career mode at this stage, but hopefully they get there very soon. Currently we're at 220, we're actually above 10,000 feet, so we can put that back to normal now. So we just click that again, and now it'll increase to 288 knots. At this stage, this was set to our runway heading. So we can set that back now to where we're going, just in case we do need to use heading mode instead of nav. If you ever wonder why your aircraft, especially the 787s or the bigger aircraft, don't follow, because sometimes it doesn't follow the assigned flight path, correct? If it's not in magenta, which is this color here, then it's basically not following and not connected to that particular flight path. So if you ever find that this goes a different color, it's either green or maybe white. What you'd have to do to get back onto it is obviously go to heading mode, okay? Then once you're in heading mode, so we'll click heading mode, LNAV comes off. Right, so you reconnect LNAV. Say for instance we're over here, the magenta line's here, right, going this way. So what you have to do is fly the aircraft in heading mode so it intersects this line again. And seeing that the LNAV is already selected, so what will happen, once the aircraft flies over the magenta line again, it'll actually reacquire it and fly it again. So if you ever find that it's come off and it's like, why isn't it following it, just do that. So you select heading mode, make sure it's selected for the straight ahead of the aircraft, otherwise you'll start turning. And then fly onto the magenta line again. And then it will actually follow, it'll go, once it sort of clicks just near it, it'll reactivate and LNAV will take over again and it'll follow your flight plan again. So just fly over it. All you have to do is, like I said, just fly over the line again and it'll reacquire it. That's pretty much how you get that to work again. So you can always, as you can see, we're coming in, now it's deactivated now, so it's in white, so we're not flying there anymore, we're flying to the next one, and then the aircraft's flying by the magenta line again. So see if those ghosts are still there. Oh yeah, the ghosts are still there. Must be pretty windy outside today. Alright, so we're flying over Shanghai at the moment, quite pretty outside actually. For some reason my pilot has disappeared. He's a bit sick today. So seeing that now, we want to make it comfortable for our passengers. We turn it to about 20 degrees, so 25, so 10, 15, 20, 25, and that's 30, so each of those are 5 degrees, so we'll hit it on 20. Line back. So we've got roughly a 2-hour flight ahead of us. Any questions you guys have or anything at all about anything at all, I'm here to help you. Obviously check out my channel too on YouTube. There's lots of takeoff, or there's one takeoff and quite a few landing. Takeoff's probably the easiest. Landing's the hardest to master, but there's quite a few videos there. Every Tuesday we also do live Learn to Fly, where you can ask any question. We'll go through it online. Today is just pretty much, my demo flight, having a bit of fun. Definitely let us know where you guys like flying, what planes you guys like flying and stuff like that. At this stage, I'm pretty much finally got this particular aircraft up to in my career mode. I mainly play career, so till it stuffs up, and then this Tuesday we're doing live stream again, like learn how to fly live. Obviously we'll be back in the Cessna this week, going off a new video, which is all about not chasing the runway. So obviously coming in nice, setting up your approach for 3 degrees down, setting your speed properly and everything, so you just nicely cruise down, glide down, and not having to, adjust, your pitch, because you never want, when you're landing, once you adjust your pitch up or down to chase the runway, you want to adjust your power. So power is what gets you to, come down quicker or less to come down by adjusting your power. So that's what you want to sort of, bring you down and bring you back up again by adjusting your power. Your pitch is only there. You set your pitch to a certain degree. So usually the nose just a tiny bit up, so you can actually get your speed to what you wanted. So obviously in assessing you want about 60 knots. So you pitch your nose up so you can get onto 60 knots at a certain engine speed, and then you use your engine to sort of get your vertical speed, so you, to about 400 feet per minute. So you come down to about 400, 350, 400 feet per minute, which is perfect in your Cessna. And then you want to pitch up, pitch down so you can keep your speed. So pitch up, pitch down, speed, engine power, up or down to adjust your pitch up or down. So that's what you use. And you get the right equilibrium, the right thing right in the center, on the perfect on both. And then you come down nice and smooth. And then just at the last, you get your ground effect, take all your engine power out, and then flare, pull your nose up, bleed that extra speed off, and let your wheels touch. And that's how you get your butter smooth landings every time. So it does take a lot of practice.